Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Hamilton Central School. I'm Bill Dowson. I'm the current middle school and high school principal and the future superintendent here at Hamilton. I'd like to warmly welcome you all to this first annual Youth Leadership Summit sponsored by Hamilton Central School, our SADD chapter, the Hamilton Area Community Coalition, Reality Check, and Bridges. Your presence here this morning is the clearest possible evidence of the determination of all of you not to just fight the menace of drugs in our communities, but to fight and win the upper hand. It's my pleasure and honor to welcome you all to Hamilton Central School to hear what our young people in our local districts have to say about safe, healthy, drug-free communities. We're honored to welcome local, state, federal government representatives, as well as our community leaders from Hamilton and Colgate University. I'd also like to welcome our guests from Oneida, Canastota, Madison, Chittenango, Cazenovia, Stockbridge Valley, Morrisville-Eaton, as well as Holy Cross Academy schools. Hamilton is proud to be a leader in youth empowerment and development projects. In the last 3 years, we've piloted many programs now being used across the county. We're privileged to hold a federal drug-free communities grant through the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy. This is important for our district and brings resources otherwise unavailable to our students and allows us to partner with the Hamilton Coalition to pilot new programs and projects which can later be used in other areas of the county. Prevention is a powerful tool to protect against substance abuse in our communities. Teaching our youth to make healthy choices at a young age is the first step in avoiding the many tragedies we see and read about in the news. These important grants will go a long way in bringing youth, parents, school administrators, and other community leaders together to save lives and protect our communities. We've created this event to give youth a platform to share their opinions and to remind them that adults at all levels care and are listening to their concerns. We're extremely proud of our students here today who've been courageous enough to take a stand against drugs and are willing to volunteer their time for the advancement of drug-free communities. Before I turn over the mic to Susan Jenkins, who is the Executive Director of Bridges, I'd like to once again welcome and thank our local, county, state, and federal government officials for taking time out of their busy schedules to be here this morning and support our youth as they make a difference in our communities. I'd also like to give a huge shout out to Melissa Kasoulis from the Coalition and Lauren Reynolds, our HCS SADD advisor, for organizing this very powerful event. Thank you all for coming and thank you all for your hard work. Susan?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Dowsland. I too want to echo a big thanks to Hamilton Central School for opening their school to this really first ever event of this kind. I have to say that the energy and enthusiasm around this project has been incredible. So the logos that were up there before, all of those programs, except for the school obviously, are housed under the umbrella of Bridges. And it was a germ of an idea to design your own community and look at these things. And it was amazing to see all these programs that we have under one roof coming together. And you know, when one person works on a project, it's one thing. And then as you get other people's ideas and input, it grows and grows. And every Monday morning we have a staff meeting, and the staff said, well, you know, we're going to do this youth summit, and it's going to be at the end of March. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, the logistics of pulling all of these schools and youth together and getting this whole thing organized, that's a daunting task. But of course they were up to the challenge, and here we are today. I was saying in the back just a couple of minutes ago that in our communities and in our nation and our world, there's a lot of things that we kind of grumble and grouse about, a lot of things that are challenges. But coming today and seeing all of these young people here today and knowing the poise and the confidence and the leadership that you've exhibited in pulling all of these design your own communities together gives everyone, I think, hope for the future. I'm so impressed with what you've done with this project. with your advisors, with the other adults that have given you support. And I think I'm very excited, although I've heard little bits and pieces of what you're going to do. I'm very enthused about hearing what you have to say today. So I'm not going to go on about anything. I think prevention is important. We're here together. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. And thank you again to the school for inviting us in.
And I am part of the Hamilton Coalition. I personally would like to help prevent youth from getting anywhere near marijuana and tobacco, which is why I am part of this coalition and why I felt it was important to share my voice using this project. I am here to explain the project that we have been working on for the past couple months. Students across Madison County have been working on this collaborative project. I, as well as many other students, participated in this activity because overall I thought that it would be fun. I was glad to participate in this project because I think it is important to improve communities around every district. Each community has wonderful things within it and also things that can be better. This activity gave us an opportunity to explore that. For this project, students built their ideal community using stickers and a paper map, like you can see in the hallway. Each sticker represents buildings and businesses. The purpose of this project is to explore what students do want in their community and what they do not want in their community. So this activity gave us the opportunity to explore that. Each student was given a town and a sheet of stickers. Examples include convenience stores, some that sell tobacco and some that don't, marijuana dispensaries, grocery stores, cafes, rec centers, casinos, gift shops, and more. So these are some of the examples. They were instructed to create their own community however they want, and they were told that they didn't have to use all of the stickers, but they could if they wanted to. Any of the stickers that they didn't want to be placed in a separate box below the town. So after completing, they would answer the following questions below. So why would you leave certain stickers off? Why would you include the stickers that you did? And why did you place the stickers in the locations that you did? So now here is Max Wallace to explain how the project was completed and introduce you to the student representatives that we have here today.
All right, well, my name is Max Wallace, and I'm a sophomore here at Hamilton Central School. I'm also part of the Hamilton Coalition. I joined because it's good for our community if we create awareness of substance abuse. Students across the county completed this activity that Alyssa just explained. Schools were allowed to complete these with grades 7 through 12. Some schools chose to do this during lunch, some completed them during health or other classes, and some had their entire school complete the activity. There is one student representative here today to present information from each participating school. All information presented here today is based on different sample sizes from each school. It is not meant to directly compare schools. If students did not follow directions or not complete the activity, their town map was discarded. No percentages stated here are intended for use as statistics and will not be published for any reason. We are merely here to describe the findings from within individual schools. Please refer to packets provided for more information about some of the issues students will discuss. Now I'm happy to introduce our student panel. From Oneida High School, Shelby Jenkins. To read the findings from Canastota Central School, we have Hamilton student Eric Geyer. From Madison Central School, Francesca Matson. To read the findings from Chettanango Middle School, we have Hamilton student Ryan Hunt. From Hamilton Central School, Amelia Gollard. To read the findings from Casanova Central School, we have Hamilton student Theo McCarn. From Stockbridge Valley Central School, Rocco Pizzuto. From Morrisville Eden Central School, Ella Camp. Cross Academy, Allison Glick.
Hi, I'm Shelby Jenkins, and I am in 11th grade. I am here to present on behalf of the Oneida High School. In our club, Teens for a Better World, we were just discussing how we could make our community a happier place. With some help, we knew this activity would be beneficial. Around our school, many of us heard our peers complaining about the lack of activities to do after school or on the weekends. We thought this activity would help to get ideas about some things people like to have near us. These are some of the results we got during our lunch periods when the activity was held. 1, we want to obtain a cheap youth center. In our community, we do have some youth centers, but most of them cost too much for parents to send children to often. 2, we also found that many of our population would like an ice skating rink close by. 3, many of our students also like to skateboard and ride bikes and scooters, so they would love a skate park. During this project, many of our students and faculty expressed vaping as one of our major issues in our school. Many of our participants left casinos, vape shops, and tobacco off of their maps. The teachers said that they wished less of these buildings were around locally, and students expressed concern with the number of casinos and slots near us. In my neighborhood, I included a rec center to have different theme nights that teens and children can attend on weekdays after school or on the weekends. Next, a clothing shop, because I personally love shopping, and I think we should have more clothing shops, being that most of the stores near us are grocery stores. I included smoke-free parks so kids are not exposed to secondhand smoke, and lastly, a healthcare center so everyone has access to a local physician. Thank you for having me and bringing this eye-opening activity to our school. I hope you all have a great day and enjoy the presentations.
My name is Eric Geyer, and I'm a Hamilton student here to read the findings from Canastota Central School. Because I am just reading this for the school, I will present only information collected from the town maps. This school did the activity during all middle and high school lunch periods. A slight majority of Canastota students did not include vape or pot shops in their communities that they built. Some of these students, however, did include medical marijuana dispensaries. Students who created communities like this mentioned, I left certain stickers off because beer and drugs are bad for your body. People like to drink and drive, and that's why there's so many accidents on the road. Another student said, we need to limit the usage of drugs and alcohol by teens. Several just mentioned that some of the businesses would do harm to the community, and that is why they did not include these things. There were still many students who included pot shops, casinos, and vape shops. Students that created communities like this commented, I believe all stickers should be on because I think adults should be able to make personal choices regardless of the risk. Another commented, near the school there is a rec center, library, and a fitness center, and a movie theater. In one small corner of the town, there's all the bars, liquor stores, casino, vape, and pop shops. As you can see on the screen, this is what the student created, keeping them in one area far from the school. Other things to note were a student placing the police station in between a pop shop and a vape shop, as they put it, so no teens get in trouble. And a student mentioning that they think they need to include every sticker because we can't end addiction. One student commented on the smoke-free apartments, noting, the apartments need to be smoke-free because of the elderly and little kids. Canastota students felt things need to be more accessible and convenient. Students want to make sure there's competition between businesses. Safety is a priority for these students. Even though there was not a sticker for it, a few students drew in a turf football field and felt that this would be a good asset to the community in Canastota. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Francesca Madison Central School. I think it was important that my school completed this because it is important that we know what young people want in our communities and what we don't. We want things that take care of us on a daily basis, like daycares, pharmacies, and hospitals. Things that we can use every day that benefit us. But it's also important to know what we don't want or need in our communities. Comments from students were all different, and some took this project seriously and some did not, which was disappointing. During this project, I realized some students in my school don't understand the real consequences of drugs and tobacco being in Madison. One student who included almost every sticker commented that he included them because reality is often disappointing. I want him to know that this does not have to be our reality. Doing things like this and sharing with our lawmakers will help make sure of that. The majority of students included a library and a rec center in their towns. We do not have a library in Madison, and it would be great to have one because it is a healthy environment where kids can come together and enjoy time. The same for our rec center. It is a place for teens to get together. Students said things like people could get drunk and get heart attacks and cancer with these things in Madison. And I left stickers off that often lead to people making bad decisions to try to prevent them from happening. Another student only included stickers that she said would lead to a better society. Many students simply said they did not include certain things because they were bad, or they included certain things because they were good for the community. The comment that stood out to me most was when a girl said, "Liquor, tobacco, marijuana, and vapes have no place in a small town with young children as the main targets for advertisements." For me personally, a healthy community is one that only has places that benefit people. I don't think healthy communities should have places that can help tear people down physically. That includes things like stores that sell tobacco, or if marijuana is legalized, stores that sell that. We just don't need that in our community. When communities have things like tobacco or drugs, it can be easier for kids to get these products and use them, and that isn't healthy. I do not want anyone addicted to anything. One of the places I love in Madison is Madison Lake, but it is not clean, and I do not feel it is sanitary, and it is not even completely smoke-free. Here is a photo of what Madison Lake used to look like, and I would like to see us get back there. It looks fun, clean, and like I would want to hang out here with my friends or family. I would love to see this cleaned up and safer for families and me and my friends to go and hang out. This would be an easy step to take toward a better community. I appreciate all of you listening to what Madison students have to say. Thank you.
Hello, I am Amelia Golo. I am in 9th grade and I am from Hamilton Central School. While tobacco and alcohol are decidedly large issues in the adult community, it is also rather prevalent in the younger community as well. While youth have strong opinions about these topics, they're not always the ones that are being heard. These attitudes and behaviors can be hard to change because of how deep-rooted in society they have become and the connotations that can be brought alongside of them. That being said, there are certain things we as a community can put in place or improve upon that can lead to a change for the better. To help us better understand this, we gave the students of HCS a survey about how this change could be brought about. Out of the 112 of the students in grades 6 through 12 that took the survey, 102 of them put tobacco-free grounds and or no smoking signs next to the school, 61 placed a library close proximity to the school, 51 put a youth recreation center near the school, and 40 students placed a police station next to the school to promote safety. These results show that the perceived impact that these places have on a student body is a positive one. It would also imply that these libraries, police stations, and smoking-free grounds would give the community a sense of security and help to improve safety. If one would ask the reason as to why the students left the stickers off, the overwhelming reason would be something along the lines of these stickers would negatively affect our community, which in all aspects is a reasonable choice. This would encompass stickers that would promote tobacco or alcohol use, ones that would be dangerous or harmful, or ones that flat out would cause problems. The other main reasons was that some of these stickers are just not necessary to the community and therefore left off. As To the reason why stickers were put on, it is mostly because of the positive impact they were perceived to have. These places would keep our town balanced as well as keep it happy and safe. They would have a positive impact on both children and adults and keep people safe and healthy, which is the goal of this meeting in the first place. The overwhelming majority was that these places and signs would remind the community to stay drug-free, and the connotations of these things would be to make decisions that would not harm oneself. If prompted for the reason as to why these stickers would be put in certain places, the response would be that the placement of these establishments would benefit the community. One thing our community is noticeably lacking is a youth recreation center, which could benefit children and teens and help them make positive decisions. Things like this make it easier to stay safe while still being entertained. Students also put certain stickers they deemed bad farther away from the school so that kids could do things fun while staying safe. These unsafe places would be closer to the police station to help regulate them. Altogether, this can create a safer environment for people that can easily be reached. The main takeaway of these findings is something in the community has to change. With various things that could be done relatively easily, such as putting up anti-smoking signs or simply making the school and a certain distance around it tobacco-free. Our students want a safe and healthy community, which is much of the given reason for the entire summit here. But there are only really a certain amount these can do, given the current society view on both tobacco and alcohol. While we may not be able to change society, we can still influence children and teens to make positive choices, and even that takes a decently large amount of time. But nevertheless, we still have to try, because the people we are influencing are going to make positive choices in the future, are the people who are going to create our future. Thank you.
Hello, I am Ryan Hunt, a senior at Hamilton Central School, and I am reading for the Chenango Middle and High School. The Chenango student who helped organize these findings enjoys math, so the findings from his school were collected in percentages. The percentages are calculated using the number of participating students and are not reflective of the school as a whole. 97% of the students who completed the project did not include a vape shop or a pot shop near their school, and 80% did not include a vape shop or pot shop at all. One student wrote, "Vaping, cigarettes, and weed have no place in our community. They do not make it a good place to be." Another added, "I left off certain stickers because we as kids don't need those around to harm us." Students did, however, place positive recreation options nearby their school. 40% included a bookstore and or library directly next to their school. 94% included a rec center and or fitness center. Students reported choosing these options because, quote, "it makes a safe community." Students who chose to include vape shops, bars, casinos, or pot shops often grouped them together in a specific corner of town. 79% of students chose a convenience store which did not have tobacco, alcohol, or alcohol advertising outside. One student wrote, "I left the liquor billboard off because I don't think that addictive chemicals should be advertised. I left pot shop out because I didn't like the signs on the shop because they would appeal to kids my age. I included all the other stickers because as long as the bad things aren't advertised, it is a choice and that choice is yours to make." Another student shared their reason for leaving off vape, tobacco, marijuana shops, and casinos, saying, I included the shops because I wanted a happy little town where kids can grow up safe and make good choices." Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Theo McCarn, and I'm in 11th grade at Hamilton Central School. I'll be reading the results from Cazenovia Central School. All of the quotes included in this presentation are directly from Cazenovia students, as written on their completed project sheets. The majority of Cazenovia students who completed this project did not include vape shops or pot shops. In response to the question, why did you leave certain stickers off? One student replied, "I left certain stickers off because I don't think it's very good to have things like vape shops or liquor around where kids could have access or be exposed to those kind of things before they're an adult." Students also commented that they left off these kinds of businesses because they corrupted the neighborhood. would destroy our community or would be dangerous for young kids. Students also wrote, I left certain stickers off because they encourage unhealthy behavior, and I don't think Casanova should give anyone, especially kids, such easy access to drugs. One student spoke from experience, stating, I know some people who struggle with cigarette usage, and limiting the supply might help. Students were specific in their choice of placement and had a lot to say about their choices. One student said, I placed businesses that could pose problems or be the most dangerous closest to the hospital and police station. The places that catered to kids I placed close to the school. Another student said, I placed more adult things away from the park and schools so that kids don't see that. Another student made the park tobacco-free, saying, I hate when people let children breathe in secondhand smoke. One student wrote, I tried to keep the more adult-targeted establishments like bars, casinos, and marijuana away from the schools and daycare. I tried to put stores that were in the main area central to all the houses and keep them safe for people of all ages to visit them. Many students convinced and safety are a priority. Students also commented that they wanted Casanova to be a kid-friendly place that is safe, happy, and a fun town. Students said, I included stickers that will help the town thrive. The people who live in my ideal world will have opportunities to try new hobbies, places to eat, places to stay healthy, and places to learn. Another student included stickers because I think they all contributed to a well-rounded and safe town. Possibly the most creative answer from Casanova was one student who wrote, I want a pond with ducks. Thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Marco Pizzuto. I'm in 7th grade and I go to Stockton Fairley Central School. My group felt this activity was important because it gave us the chance to design our own town and give personal feedback. Most of the students didn't say much and had a positive attitude during the activity, although some students were laughing and joking about the placement of their stickers. They placed vape shops and pot shops directly on the school. While some students did this, it was not the majority of the students in our school. Students were asked whether they left some stickers off. One student said, I left certain stickers off because they can harm teens and adults. Another said, because these are places where kids can get in trouble or get the wrong influences. This is referred to things like pot shops, vape shops, and casinos. One student left stickers off because we don't need to waste money to get addicted to alcohol or drugs. Also, spending money on vape products is not right since it's an addiction and a waste of money. Students were also asked why they included certain stickers. It is important to know why we want certain things in our town. One student said they will bring more people to the town and create a good atmosphere. This student included almost all the stickers, but just like all the other students who chose to include the majority of the stores, this student placed drugs, tobacco, and alcohol away from the school in their own part of town. Another student stated that they included the stickers because I felt this would make our community safer. We were also asked why we placed the stickers in the locations that we did. One student used all their stickers and said, I wanted to show you can have any stores, but just keep them away from the good ones. This student wants to keep things that can influence kids away from stores where kids shop. Another student said, to section off groups that are similar because this is how it should be. Some people don't change and you can never fully get rid of bad things, but you can try to keep it away. Another student simply stated that they placed the stickers where they did to keep things that are bad away from children. I agree with this because children are easily influenced. Many students think it would be better if our communities did not have these things. But if they must be in our towns, they should not be near kids and should not be in stores where kids shop. Some other important things that almost every student put a rec center or fitness center on the map. I think this is because kids like to be involved in sports. Kids that are involved in sports may be less likely of making harmful decisions. One student mentioned people would be better off if they had healthy places to go in our towns like gyms. I feel that a healthy community should not have a tobacco or vape retailer. I'd also like to see smoke-free housing. I recently attended a town meeting to address my concerns regarding a possible tobacco retailer coming to my town, which is a concern with other students from my school. I don't want there to be easier access to these products for kids, or for kids to be exposed to advertisements for products, tobacco products. I like our park in Stockbridge and I have fun there being there, but I'd really like it to be smoke-free. Thank you for letting me voice my concerns on what the students at Stockbridge Valley Central School feel about a healthy community.
My name is Ella Camp. I'm in the 7th grade and I'm here to represent Morrisville Eaton School District. Our school felt it was important to do this project because we wanted the students' input on how our town should be run. I mean, there makes a town a town. Some of the important things that I found were that students are putting tobacco in one area and not in our schools. By putting tobacco in one area, it prevents more teens from seeing the tobacco. If kids are fooling around or just try a cigarette, vape, or chew, they risk the chance of getting addicted to it. Students are also choosing tobacco-free parks in schools. Even though school is tobacco-free, it's nice to see that students want that and appreciate that. A lot of the students' reasons for this is because they know tobacco is not good for the people of the community and also think it's not necessary at all. Students mentioned why tobacco should not be in the places it is, like where kids shop. Smoking isn't good for mental or physical health. Students said there does not need to be pot, vape, or liquor stores. It's not family or child friendly. And another said it's not something they would want for their family or community. Some students even put the bad parts of town that they created right next to the police stations, and they said it was for security reasons. A lot of students also said on their towns that they included businesses that aren't good for the community because our town needs more money. Students spread out stores so that we have better access to things. Many students put stickers close to each other so that they did not have to travel as far to get to things. Students wanted things closer to where they all live, things we can walk to and more places to shop. Students also wanted a rec center. One student wrote, "I placed the rec center where I did so that kids who had problems at school could go there after school." The main thing was that kids wanted to have a healthy, fun, safe community. One student said, "I included certain stickers because it is positive for a town that has poverty in it and will keep people busy. Kids really want to see more entertainment in our community." I also agree with the students that if we were to have tobacco stores in our town at all, we should keep them contained and away from schools and parks so that teens aren't as persuaded to try tobacco or drugs. This also goes for tobacco ads outside of stores. I'm not against people who use tobacco, I just don't want today's teens to be future drug or tobacco users. I wish in Morrisville that stores were spread out more so that everyone could have easier access to groceries and other stores. It would be nice to have a grocery store closer to the center of Morrisville for convenience for everyone. Some of the things that I like about Morrisville is a teen, there are open skate at the ice rink, that we have our own library, and then I like it that we have a lot of sidewalks in town so that we can feel free to walk around without being in the road. It is also well lit, which is nice. During the holidays, my town always puts a lot of effort into decorating, which I really love. I really like living in Morrisville, but I know that there are some things that we can do to make it better. Once again, I'm Ella Camp. Thank you for listening.
Hello, my name is Allison Wynn and I am a senior at Holy Cross Academy in Oneida. I wanted my school to participate in this activity because it seemed very fun. It ended up being so eye-opening. These stickers are real. It is important that kids know that these things might actually come into our community. Some of them are already there and others could come in if we don't do anything about it. We are lucky that we don't have some of these things near our school, but many other kids do. It is important for people to know that we don't want this near us. Some of the stickers were good for our community, but some of the stickers were ones that were bad and would bring bad influences into our community. While we were doing this project, many of my friends were talking about how we forget that we can pick a gas station that sells tobacco over one that doesn't, or a supermarket that sells tobacco versus shopping at one that doesn't. That decision is a way we can avoid being exposed to advertising. If anyone goes into that store that sells tobacco, then anyone of any age is exposed to that. Even little kids, and I don't think that's right. Some kids did include things like shops that sell marijuana or vape products. One student that did this, wrote that he put the police station near the sketchy part of town. He recognized that even if we have these shops, it could cause issues. One student said he included everything because it is Oneida, and that is what he sees in our town. We discovered through this exercise that even if that is what we see now, it is not necessarily what our community wants. Though some students included these things, they were the minority. Most students made comments that they left certain businesses off because I didn't think that they were beneficial to people, or because I didn't feel like they would be safe in town. Students mentioned wanting to promote positivity in our community, that we should promote a happy environment, and that they just want things to make our community more fun. Students also mentioned that convenience is important. We wanted to see the places we could go, close together and near our school. Students even thought about our parents, and the majority of kids put the daycare on the same block as our school for convenience. And almost all students put a place to buy food on the same block as our school. To me, a healthy community does not have vape shops. I see kids who are too young to buy vapes going into shops in our community and coming out with things. That is terrifying to me, knowing that kids are starting it that young. I don't want anything in my community that would tear people down or harm them in any way. I like that in Oneida, everything is very close. It would be nice to have somewhere where kids could go where we knew there were only good things to buy. There is a cancer corner at a school near ours, and I wish that wasn't a thing. We shouldn't have to think about things like that, and that bothers me to know that other students have to worry about that. We have a rec center in our community, but I would like to see some changes so we can have a more fun area for teens. The rec center that we have needs some renovations. The area in the middle is full of bouncy houses and is more for little kids. You have to rent out the open space that is more for teens, and that makes it harder to go there and be with friends. We would be more inclined to go there if it was a teen-friendly and more modern environment. That would give us all a positive space to hang out after school. Thank you for listening to the comments from the students at Holy Cross Academy.
Can we get one more round of applause for all these students who did so great? Definitely got the microphone stuck. Thank you for your patience. I enjoyed hearing everyone speak. Everyone had a lot of great things to say. My name is Kat Wojia, and I am a junior from Holy Cross Academy, and I live in Munnsville. I'm also a member of Reality Check, which is a New York State youth-led movement working to reduce youth exposure to tobacco marketing in stores and on screen. I've been working in this movement against tobacco for 4 years now, and the initiative is a very important one to me. Because of my involvement with this program, I particularly understand the importance of making sure that people who can make decisions for our communities are the ones who know how we feel about the issues that we see. I would like to take a minute to recognize the towns and villages present here today, along with the other lawmakers. In attendance today, we have Representative Anthony Brindisi, Representative from representatives from New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's office, representatives from New York Senator Rachel May's office, Village of Hamilton Mayor Ruth Ann Lovelace, the Mayor Mark Pulver of Chittenango, the Town of Eaton Town Council Joe Wicks, Specialist Joshua Bannock, National Guard Counter Drug Task Force, Joanne Borfitz, Colgate University Hamilton Initiative Hamilton Rotary Club President, Jenny Lunt, President of Colgate Student Government Association, and representatives from the Madison County Youth Bureau. Thank you all for coming today. Just like students here today, I just want to have a happy, healthy community. Having a healthy community starts with healthy people, but healthy people need a healthy environment. In our county, teenagers are targeted by the marketing of different harmful products. We see in the world around us big companies selling tobacco, vapes, jewels, alcohol, and other destructive products that are appealing to teens. Cigarettes come in colorful packs. Vapes have fruity flavors that are obviously meant for young people. And jewel pods are designed to look like USB drives and are snuck into school. Alcohol comes in fruit flavors that taste more like Kool-Aid. And in states where marijuana is legal, we see candy products laced with THC. It's unfair that teenagers are unknowingly having their attention called to these products, becoming addicted, and then not knowing what to do. Some of us have seen our public recreation options disappear or become dated and fall into disrepair. We heard from Madison that they would love to have their lake restored to what it once was. From Oneida that the current rec center could be improved and be more teen-friendly. From Stockbridge that they would like a state park, and the need for more family-friendly entertainment was echoed across all the schools. Thankfully, there are young people who see the problem at hand and want to see change. We thought every school here would have their own story to tell, but it turns out that they all have a pretty similar one. Many participants in this town activity took the opportunity to create a healthy community void of marijuana, tobacco marketing, and gambling. And many students who did include these things grouped them together in one part of the town, not near the schools or daycare centers. The schools who had students include shops that promote addictive products often had thoughtful reasons for it. Because they think that their towns need more income, or because they think that there's nothing they can do about it. To our legislative officials present, that's where you come in. We all know that there is something that can be done about it, and you can make a difference. We are all grateful for the communities that we live in. We enjoy our parks, our playgrounds, our rec centers, our stores, and our schools. Students included things like rec centers and libraries right next to their school. We also got confirmation that we want more good food near our schools. Many of us included Chinese food or pizza right next to the school. Who wouldn't want that? Students even took the time to draw in their own items that we didn't have stickers for. They asked for skating rinks, turf fields, and bowling alleys, just to name a few. So many commented on the need for low-cost or no-cost activities to do after school. We all want to have fun in a safe, healthy environment, and we know that you want that for us too. We just know that with some small changes, our communities can be better, which is why we're here today. Something must change. We've now done our part, finding out what young people want. It's up to you to decide what to do with that information. Schools from across Madison County are urging you to hear what we love about our towns, what is hurting them, and how to make improvements. Please take some time to speak to any of us teenagers. Everyone has been given an informational packet as well, and will be followed up with after the conference. Until then, please join us for refreshments and discussion in the gym. The town maps that students completed are hanging in the gym as well. Please take some time to look through them and really read what the students have written. And please make sure to take everything out with you when you leave, because there is something here after. Thank you all very much for coming and taking the time to listen to everything we had to say, and have a great day.